good day. Figure out
I don't like getting like this, but...
No, and you find somebody in your life who allows you to scream and yell at them however you like.
And I wasn't screaming and yelling, and you're still ignoring that fact? That my raised voice
I'm not
is...
talking to you about this anymore.
Yeah, because you know I'm fucking right, because you just fucking went against everything that was just... You didn't register anything that was said, and you don't realize it. And you refuse to even look at it as, maybe I am wrong. Let me look at this clip and see if he's right. Let me learn and grow as a human being instead of invalidating someone and telling them they're not allowed to vent when I came in and they were already venting. Because it's annoying.
Who were you venting to?
Requesting air support.
Administering freedom.
Calling in reinforcements.
Fucking insanity, man. Like, and then people swear they think before they speak, but then how do you have a response before I finish? You didn't take anything I said and digest it and even be able to psychologically or physically in any way scientifically be able to fucking understand anything that was said on any level other than the few words that tilted you or whatever the fuck, or the words you hear all the time in documentaries and shit that stick when you do hear them, like child abuse, which is the only thing you ever remember out of the 97 fucking things I list. Which shows you're not listening because there is no compassion. You know what my point is. You only remember the same thing every time, and even if it annoyed you, if you actually listened and thought about things, that information and things that were said to you like a regular person is supposed to, like the human mind is supposed to, then you would naturally remember more than the same point over and over and again.
All I'm hearing you is just keep jabbing at me and jabbing at me.
I'm not jabbing at you. Everybody and people are the words that I'm using. Have I once said you, specifically only you? No, I didn't, and you won't watch the recording to prove that. Because you will never accept anything that is outside what you want things to be.
You used the word you again. Just to be clear.
That time I did. But when referring to the systemic problem or the conditioning, I have said people every time. See, you can only turn it into a game if you are actually willing to look at the footage, because you're not. And now you're just like, you forgot, like, you know, 3 or 4 sentences and one that I repeated twice. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, you just literally fucking, and the fucking redirect after redirect after redirect, when I prove something, and it tickles the back of your brain, and says, either learn and grow, or defend yourself, because it's not how you see things, or how you want to believe things, or want to accept, or you can't accept how wrong you are. You can't accept that you don't remember what you said. You can't accept that you are the one that caused this to get more heated. You can't accept that you did anything wrong. And nobody can. No, you don't.
I see.
Yeah.
You're screaming at yourself, but you're using me as a parent. Got it.
So, using 12-year-old fucking tactics, and if anybody else were to do that, you'd call them a child and all this other shit? Like, bro, you don't even hear yourself. Don't even hear yourself. But that's okay. Now that I know that you won't learn and grow, this will be put on as an example on my shit.
Okay.
And then when everybody watches this shit and you fucking look at it, because regardless of what you say, if you see it or it gets any kind of real viewership, you will see it. And when you contradicted yourself 6 times and proved everything that I said, and then started acting like a 12-year-old, you'll have no choice but to confront it. People out here fucking killing each other over mayonnaise on a goddamn sandwich
Bag's empty.
and they're not even in financial straits. And they've had a pretty decent life. And it's because something shattered that reality in a way they couldn't fight it anymore. And that is just fact, and fact is fact. This idea that facts aren't facts, and that science is the accepted facts and not the process of understanding things and learning, verifying things to put them as list them as accepted facts in the first place.
Ah, found it. Okay.
Okay. Trying to find it.
Rolling in orbital strike to the sky.
And if I was targeting you and just tilted in that, I wouldn't have fucking put up with it in the first place or even had the conversation or the argument or whatever.
Freedom never rests.
Shit is actually fucking crazy.
I need steps.
But this is the kind of shit that I need.
Somewhere else.
And if I was just...
Was the egg somewhere else, or was it down there?
Oh, I don't know. It was down there in the big net.
I missed it.
How about a nice cup of
all of a
liver
sudden
tea?
things that are natural human functions and instincts and part of the human brain and the process of grief or understanding, acceptance or
Requesting air support.
frustration
Activating jump pack.
is only allowed when it's them or fits their agenda in some way. But when somebody else does it, you know, all of a sudden
To the sky.
it's everything but.
Bag's empty.
All you did was just
Bag's
prove
empty.
to me how bad it is. Otherwise, completely reasonable people can be some of the most inhuman, cruel, childish people. When confronted with the truth they don't want to accept and have already accepted whatever excuse society has raised them to believe or to use.
Thank
But I need real reactions from real people doing this dumb shit and not being human and not thinking before they speak, because that's the mistake people make, is that they try to just attack people and call them stupid and this, that, and the other, and like fucking Dax, all these fucking rappers and shit claiming to be activists that don't do anything with their wealth or fame to actually confront the issues. They just call people dumb and get rich off of everybody else that's on the other side of it that says, yeah, they're just whining or they're dumb. Because God forbid we ever get off our couches and do something productive or fight for something, especially if it means anything could happen to us in any way. I wrote a fucking philosophy book at 7.5 hours. And most people can't even convince themselves to get off their couch if it doesn't benefit them financially or in some kind of dopamine kind of way. Frustration towards injustice is childish.
ETA T-minus 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
That'll be a good fucking framed comment right there.
I salute you, soldier.
Supplies. I cancel that.
Nice work.
Supplies.
Oh, I think there's super credits and shit in here.
Reinforcing.
Yeah,
Oh, what was
Last
that?
reload.
another double whammy.
Yeah.
I accidentally hit the button.
Joining the fray.
Helldivers not at extraction site. Pelican 1 landing aborted and regaining altitude.
Who's calling in reinforcements?
I've got this one.
Sample collected.
Ooh, super credit, super credit.
Requesting pack.
Nice.
Eagle 1 rearming. Be back shortly.
Oh, but if I was just an angry prick, you know, definitely wouldn't have fucking done any of that shit either.
Makes you a prick when you take it out on other people.
Well, you know, the only way
There
to
isn't
beat
a-
conditioning
there
is
is
to
no
keep
attitude.
nailing it
There's
home.
nothing. If you constantly bitch and complain to other people, have nothing to do
But see,
with
that's the problem.
it makes you a dick.
That's the problem. No, it doesn't.
And nothing
That's
to
how
do
real
with it.
discussions are made and literally the forming of our country fucking happened. Do you realize what the fuck you said? Think about it. Really think about it, bro. That's how every revolution, how fucking countries were formed, and how we are even fucking here today. What you described is inhuman
What did
as
I
fuck.
describe to you? What did I describe to you?
Not being allowed to think or, you know, fucking have a problem with about something or have a discussion with anybody about anything, and you came into the discussion late and want to be... I'm sitting here just venting.
Who were you discussing this with?
I fucking just corrected myself. Calm down with your fucking boner.
No, you keep saying
When
been
you
having a
came
discussion.
in,
Who
when
were
you
having a
came
discussion
in,
with? All I
Alvin.
heard was you screaming.
But you know, there's not another person here, right?
Last reload.
But Alvin wasn't talking. It was just you talking constantly.
And?
Nonstop, screaming
So
into
let's
the
see.
fucking wind.
Why don't you get on the internet and look up how do human beings vent and frustration and blah blah, like, bro.
But if you're doing it by yourself,
It's because you know that I'm right. The point that I hit on earlier made you stop talking for a minute, and now every time it's brought up, you chime in. You ignored me for a long time, but the moment I bring that up,
I didn't ignore you. I was listening, dumb fuck. Do you know the
oh,
difference?
okay.
Do you understand the
Actually,
difference?
do you understand
You
that
know
you
what a
called me a
fucking
child
conversation
and started mocking me, and then want to say that that was you listening?
How
Cause
do you
yeah,
have
that's.
people in your life, man. How? Are
Do
you
you,
forcing them to be there? Are you
and
paying
still ignoring things. And do you know how ridiculous that sounds? I'm fucking poor, dude. And how the fuck can I force somebody? What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Then you just explained to me how many people you have in your
Bag's empty.
life. Fucking hell, man. Grow is goddamn, like, it's a form of just any sort of emotion outside of yourself.
Plenty.
you
Because you
understand what
keep
it's like
forgetting
being
that I
anybody
have a
else
wife
around?
and a child and another pregnant woman and another child on the way, and fucking I have plenty of
You know what
fucking
it's like
friends.
being
My
anyone else having to be here.
And you didn't hear anything. You don't want to validate anything I say. You just want to combat it. And then you want to call it a conversation. And then fucking get on my ass for the same fucking reason that you're fucking perpetuating. Like, you don't even fucking hear yourself. You're not thinking before you
What am I
speak.
perpetuating?
And you're unwilling to accept it.
What am I specifically perpetuating?
Oh my, get off.
Explain these things.
I have multiple
Don't
times,
just randomly
but...
say words and phrases
No.
without actually